Video doorbells like this are being touted as a way of helping to track down lost dogs, but there are some big privacy concerns that come with them. So we're going to show you how to keep your dog safe at the front door without needing to pay Amazon $3.99 a month and handing all of your data over to immigration. Come on, mate.
This is SkoolDoggery, real training for real people in real life.
Now, this doesn't mean that I'm against having a doorbell with a camera on the front of your house. They do add an extra level of security and they can help with your dog. But let's just have a look at some of Amazon's claims and just see how they stack up in the real world and what they could potentially mean. Now, they say that they have already returned over a dog a day using this system, which probably means, knowing what we do about statistics and how advertising companies use them, that means that they've actually returned 366 dogs, because that's all they need to make that claim, which is a hit ratio which is probably only slightly less than your local Facebook group when it comes to tracking down dogs. Most dog escapes do happen at the front door. That is the point where they are going to get out the most unless you've got a really insecure backyard, and footage can help if your dog does escape. If you've got some neighbours who have all got cameras, the idea is that you'll be able to track your dog's progress, but this is assuming that you've got full coverage and therefore everybody is, surprise, surprise, gonna need a Ring doorbell. A camera like that can help you investigate what's happened, but the only way to prevent it is by actually training your dog. You want to make sure that if a delivery driver or a friend comes over, these guys are not just going to run straight out the front door the moment that they sense freedom. But the main reason that I would not rely on a Ring doorbell to keep track of my dog is actually nothing to do with my dog, and that's that these things are starting to feed into huge mass surveillance systems. Now, you might think, why is a dog channel based in the UK talking about mass surveillance over in the US? But it is because cultural creep is definitely a thing, and companies do like to test out new strategies in one or two markets before then rolling it out worldwide. Now, they have wrapped up what appears to me to be mass surveillance techniques in a cute, cuddly dog wrapper. So what is it we're actually suggesting that we can do about this? Well, for a start, I've never understood why people use Ring doorbells to begin with. There are plenty of other alternatives out there. I'm not going to name drop them because they are not sponsoring these videos, but the one that we use, all the data is stored internally in the house. There is no need to trust the cloud, which is just another name for a server farm, and I know I'm getting a bit old man yells at cloud here, but there is no need to send all your data off for that when you can just keep it locally and completely remove yourself from any of these potential mass surveillance problems while still having the security of keeping an eye on your front door if your dog escapes. And the best thing that you can do is to actually train your dog. Now, we've got some videos on this channel about how to train door manners, but we're going to head over into the hallway now and do a bit of a refresher course, teach Freddie how to do some door manners using some commands that he's never heard before. We have our own little routine that goes on with our doorbell because the house is split. I won't bore you with it, but let's just pretend that you're training a dog or a puppy from scratch. We're going to go and show you now how to help them react when the doorbell goes off. So what you're going to need to train this is a bag full of training treats in your pocket, an area that you want them to go that can be their place to go when the doorbell goes off, and of course, a very engaged little dog. Now, the key to any piece of dog training is to lure them to where you want them to go, give them the cue word that means go there or do that, mark it with a yes, good, and then reward them with a piece of treat afterwards. So, what we're aiming to do is to make it so that whenever the dog hears the sound of the doorbell, they go to a specific place and wait there until you've told them that they can go. Now, like I said earlier, we have our own little routines, so I'm going to be teaching Freddie this from scratch because he's not really heard any of these commands before. I'm also not going to use the sound of our actual doorbell. I'm going to make that a doorbell sound myself. But you can either make the sound of the doorbell yourself or try and get somebody else to press it to help you do this training. So what we're aiming for is every time that he hears bing bong, he's going to run to that mat there and sit there for a bit until I tell him that he can go. That's kind of going to be a little place command. So we're going to get him away, Freddie. Yeah, you know what this is, don't you? So first, we're going to lure him onto where we want him to go. And as he gets there, wait, I know you want it. As he gets his foot on that purple mat, we're then going to give him the cue sound, which is going to be the bing bong, like that, okay? So, Freddie, here we go. Bing bong. Good boy. So just there, he didn't sit on it, he didn't wait on it, but what he did do was touch it. So he started to make that connection that noise means that sensation under his feet. So Freddie, come away again. Good boy. Sit. Shall we try it that way? You might have a bit of a better look. Freddie. Bing bong. Good boy. Good bing bong. Good boy. Freddie, over there. Let's do it again. And then we're just going to rep it quite a few times. Freddie. Bing bong. Good boy. Good boy. Over here. Let's come away. Let's do it again. Bing bong. Good boy. Good bing bong. Good boy. So that's what we're doing. We're luring him onto the mat. We're giving him the cue word, the bing bong. We're marking it with a yes, good. That's exactly what I want. And then we're giving him the reward to really drive that home. Let's do it again. So we're going to lure him over. Bing bong. Good boy. Good bing bong. Good boy. And that's how quick you need to be if you're trying to train a dog, because dogs are in the moment learners. There's no point me giving him a treat now for doing the bing bong action because he doesn't really know what I want. He just defaults to a sit because he's such a good boy, and you can have a treat for that. Yes. So he is quite a clever dog. So let's just see how quickly he's picked this up. Freddie, come over here. Sit. Now, if you were doing this with a puppy or a dog that, yes, that isn't as eager as this one, then it might take a little bit longer. But let's just see what happens. I'm not going to give any hand cues because I am terrible for giving him accidental hand cues. Freddie, bing bong. Yeah, he's not quite got it yet. Okay, that's fine. So we'll do it again. Bing bong. Good boy. Off. Let's keep repping this. Bing bong. Good boy. Over here. Bing bong. Good boy. Good boy. Right, Freddie, come on, you can do this. I believe in you. I believe in you, Freddie. Freddie, bing bong. See, if I point, he'll do it. Bing bong. There we go. Good bing bong. Good boy. And that might be what you need to do is for a while is to get whatever you can do to get them on that mat and start to build up that association. Freddie, good boy. Off you come. Freddie, bing bong. Yes, good boy. Freddie, sit. Good boy. Now, what you would do is rep that over and over again until you can get them to a point where they can sit on their little mat. It should probably be a bit bigger than this. I've kind of hindered myself here by trying to have the one that I spent some money on, trying to get some use out of it. You would have a bigger mat or a place or it's just somewhere that you can get them to go. It doesn't even have to be a specific bit on the floor. You could get them to run behind a baby gate when you do the same thing so that they can keep themselves safe. But the aim for what we're trying to get to is that eventually when that doorbell goes off, Freddie, bing bong, good boy, good boy. That was perfect. That was perfect. Freddie, get on there. Bing bong. Good boy. And a sit, stay. See, this would then be the next bit. We've got him into position. We've got them where they want them to go. We've got them behind the baby gate. And then when you're feeling a little bit braver with them, if you don't have a well-trained dog, do not do this without the lead on. I am 100% confident in his training that he's not about to do anything here. But with your dog, make sure you have a lead on for doing this. But that is when once they've got that place, once they run to it themselves, when you make the noise, that is when you can start. Oi, you've just shown me up there, haven't you? Freddie, stay. Clear commands. That was my error. Stay. Good boy. That is when you can start leveling it up and opening the door. Good boy. I didn't give you a clear command. That was my fault. Clear commands are always important. Good boy. And then, good boy. Once you've stayed, shut the door. Yes, that was the best thing ever. That was the best thing ever. Yes, that was a good boy. That was a good boy. Yes, it was. That was the best thing ever. So that is why and how you need to train your dog to respect the door. Don't rely on the camera to be a leash for your dog. The camera is a tool. There are loads of things that can be a tool in dog training, but the absolute best thing to have is clear communication like you saw there and a good level of respect and training between you and your dog. If you've got a place that you let your dog go to when the doorbell goes off, please let us know down in the comments. It's always hilarious seeing some of the different solutions that other people have come up with. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, look after yourself and more importantly, look after your dog. Yes, that's you. You want some more treats, don't you?